It'll come up. Well, we got a little bit of a crowd tonight, so thank you all for coming. Good evening and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of December 14th, 2021. Ms. Bork, please call the roll.
Committeewoman Erickson. Here. Committeeman Thompson.
Here.
Committeeman Wright.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Delphore. Mayor LaPlante.
Yes.
Administrator Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
Attorney Bernstein.
Right.
Oh,
He'll be here eventually.
he was here.
Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on December 14th. Actually, please stand and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A little backwards there, but it's okay. We keep. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please take a moment of silence to honor former police chief and Hillsborough's first ever police officer, Donald Dalchis, who passed away last month. And additionally, to our fellow Americans who suffered tragic loss in Kentucky, we offer our prayers during their recovery. So please take a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Our first order of business is approval of minutes. We have minutes of the June 15th, 2021 executive session. May I have a motion to approve these June 15th, 2021?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. We have a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson.
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Committeeman Wright.
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. Please be noted, Mr. Bernstein is on the dais at 7:35. Welcome. Minutes of September 28th, 2021, regular session. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of 2028, 2021? Thank you, Jeffrey. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson.
Abstain.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Committeeman Wright.
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. Minutes of October 12th, 2021, regular session. May I have a motion to approve
I'll
those?
make a motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson.
Abstain.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Committeeman Wright.
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. Minutes of October 26th, 2021, regular session. May I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Jeff.
I'll
You're on it today.
I'm used to abstaining.
All right. That was a good one. All right. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson.
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Committeeman Wright.
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. All right. So we'll move right to liaison reports. We start with Committeewoman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. So I will first start out by saying that this Sunday, I had the pleasure of an opportunity to attend the Kringle Market at Flounder Brewery that is located at Carriage Farm on 2 Clerical Lane. Flounder Brewery did this Kringle Market and they had over, I think it was 30 vendors and they had about 3,000 people in attendance. It was a really nice event. It kind of felt like I was walking in a Hallmark movie. So there was lights and vendors and people walking around, dogs and kids. And I also then had the opportunity to stop into Bellamara. That's the new distillery that opened right next door. And had a chance to meet with the owner, Cam, and he was gracious enough to show me around and places. Oh, there it is. Really nice. This first floor's got a bar area and then upstairs a lounge. So it was a really nice day. So thank you to them. And they had all very nice things to say about Hillsborough Township, the support they've received, the building department, David Coyson, the business advocate. So really nice day. Anyway, so on to the other items. So from the building department, there is, as a reminder, with the end of the year approaching, IDA-related permits should be filed by the end of December 2021. From the engineering department, PSE&G gas projects are all complete on Hillsborough roadways. The only work left is on Route 206. All roadways that were affected by the new gas lines are being repaved at no cost to the township. If the weather holds out, all roadways will be repaved by the end of the year. As of this date, repair work on many areas is complete. If the weather remains, oh, all right, looks like, okay, sorry. If the weather remains favorable, any outstanding issues will be addressed. Amsterdam Road or Amsterdam Drive Phase 1 repaving will take place in the spring. In addition, the township will receive a state grant for $476,801 for Phase 2. Plans for Phase 2 can be prepared during the winter months and the bid in the spring so that Phases 1 and 2 could possibly be completed at the same time. From the Rec Department, the 2022 Winter Activities Guide is here. Here are a few of the programs that the Recreation Department is offering. ASL for beginners, Intro to Chess, esports, art programs for adults, STEM programs. See the Recreation Department webpage for information on these programs and more. The Finance Department would like you to know that renewal notices for the 2022 dog licenses will be mailed out during the first week of January. Pet owners are reminded that you cannot renew the licenses unless the current rabies information on file in the finance office is valid through October of 2022 or later. And that's it. Back to you.
Just vote yes. Destination is for Hillsborough will be Flounder and the distillery. I feel that will be a very popular spot.
It was very, very
in
nice.
the coming months. Next up would be Committeeman Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things for me this evening. First up, a photo that you guys might recognize, although I believe he's about 100 pounds skinnier than he was when he played for the Giants, and a proud 1996 Hillsborough High School graduate. Sean O'Hara dropped by the Hillsborough Township Police Department on Tuesday, December 7th. While there, he visited with our police officers and their families. He treated them to dinner, showed off the Lombardi Trophy, and signed autographs and other memorabilia for our PD. The visit was meant to give back to the Hillsborough community, show support to our local law enforcement personnel, and highlight the Sean O'Hara Foundation, a charitable organization with the primary mission of helping to increase knowledge and education of life-threatening diseases with a particular focus on supporting research and awareness for cystic fibrosis. And if you'd like to see, there he is right there on the wall, too, with a great portrait that was painted by one of our teenagers here in Hillsborough a couple years ago. Also from the police department, earlier this year, the Hillsborough Police Department announced the addition of a new motorcycle unit. The 2 new Harley-Davidson motorcycles, fully equipped with emergency lights and apparatus, were generously donated by Dr. Cesar DePaco of Summit Nutritionals International. Dr. DePaco recently made an additional contribution to the Hillsborough Township PD for the trailer for the motorcycle unit and additional safety equipment. The doctor is a longtime supporter of law enforcement and has made numerous donations of canines and equipment to police departments across the United States. And in Hillsborough Township was the very first department that Dr. DePaco had donated to the purchase of a canine in 2012. Since that time, he has gone on to donate 144 canines, numerous canine vehicles, and equipment to police departments all across this country, including here in Hillsborough Township. And last but not least, just a reminder from my Hillsborough Health Department that it is very important that you do get vaccinated, and you can see our website for additional information about how you can go about and get that done. That's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, we're going to start with the Public Works. The Public Works Department is currently engaging on the second pass of the leaf collection program. Public Works often gets calls asking whether it's time to put leaves out to the edge of the property. At this stage of the program, please have all leaves raked and ready for pickup. We're often ahead of schedule in certain parts of town, so if you try to time it, you might miss it. So we're saying please have them out there, and we should be finished with the program by year end or New Year's. Now, also, you could take advantage of our leaf drop-off at Alton Road. So if you want to clean up your yard a little earlier, you can always go to the drop-off. Finally, winter is here. We're asking for residents to help us make cleanup of every snowfall a very successful one. And the way to go about that is whenever there's snow in the roadways, please do not have your vehicles in the streets. Also, if there's a basketball or trash cans, anything like that, please remove it from the roadway. This way, we won't have a subpar cleanup, and it also makes the process a lot quicker. You can also go to our township website for more information for our winter operations. Thank you. That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. Obviously, Deputy Mayor is absent today. He's out of town on business, but he wanted me to convey first his congratulations to all the recipients of proclamations today, and also to wish everyone a happy holiday and healthy and happy 2022. So on behalf of Deputy Mayor Delcor, I wanted to extend those comments. Which probably the shortest ones he's made all year.
Sure, that's fact.
You're welcome. All right, I have a couple. Obviously, December 7th was Pearl Harbor Day. I was joined by our VFW in the Garden of Honor for a ceremony to commemorate Pearl Harbor Day on our 80th anniversary. Hard to believe that was 80 years old ago. VFW Post Commander of the District 15 Trustee, American Legion member, and life member of the Disabled American Veterans, Tom Sully Jr. organized the event to pay tribute to those brave souls who we lost their lives that day and to honor this turning point in American history. And then obviously a couple of weeks ago, we had our annual Christmas tree lighting on December 3rd, and I'll just say it was a great event. We had a great turnout, especially after last year. We had to do it virtually. I almost forgot that we did that on a canvas. You can see that my fellow members that were there got all dialed up. And we had the big man himself, Santa Claus, make a drop in, help us count down the big moment. In addition to festival lighting displays, residents enjoyed dance exhibitions, jugglers, hot chocolate, and cookies. And we're even able to speak to Santa and Mrs. Claus to get their Christmas lists in early. As always, you can stay connected with all events and more via the Wednesday e-newsletter. Be sure to follow and like the official Hillsborough Township Facebook page and Twitter. TV29 and the Hillsborough YouTube channels showcase our meetings and Hillsborough The Good Life episodes. And, of course, Hillsborough alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So we have quite a few proclamations and to go. Everything has to get squished into the end of the year, but we had a lot of good things happen in the last few weeks, and we didn't want to let them go. So I will come down and present the proclamations, and at the end, if you could, wait, and then we will have a brief intermission to allow those to leave who wanted to, and then we will proceed with the rest of the meeting. So I will go down and get started. You can put the lights on.
Yeah.
Testing. It works, Kaz. All right, so our first recipient, Mike Nelson, please come up. Mike Nelson and I go a long way back, and actually had the chance to catch up with him. And he's living on jet lag. He just got back from Europe a couple hours ago, so we'll try and get him to bed. Mike Nelson, a Hillsborough resident and U.S. Air Force veteran, led the 7th annual Riding for Warriors motorcycle journey. The Ride for Warriors journey raised over $100,000 for Hope for the Warriors and its Warriors Wish program in 2021, and has raised over $253,000 in the past 7 years. Hope for the Warriors is a 15-year-old national nonprofit that serves active duty veterans, military families, caregivers, and families of the fallen. Mike Nelson's motorcycle journey started in New Jersey and ended in New York City, taking 6 days and nearly 100 miles, passing numerous September 11 memorials, monuments, and related places to remember the honor, including the New York City Ground Zero Memorial, Flight 93 Memorial, and the Pentagon Memorial. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and honor Mike Nelson for having accomplished such a meaningful motorcycle journey and fundraising effort. want you to speak first.
So thank you, Hillsborough, for continuing and supporting our veteran community, which is really very important to me, being a veteran and helping other veterans. I have one of my colleagues here from Hope for the Warriors. We did over 1,000 miles this year. It was in remembrance and honoring 9/11. And as the mayor said, we started at the 9/11 Memorial in Manhattan. We worked our way to the Flight 93 Memorial, down to the Pentagon Memorial. Most of the riders that were with us were all veterans. We were very fortunate and honored to have a 2-star retired Marine Corps general ride with us on this journey. In 2022, we will be riding again for our 8th year. This time we'll be starting in San Diego at Camp Pendleton and working our way back to Camp Lejeune. It'll be Wounded Warriors Battalion West to Wounded Warriors Battalion East. It's all about veterans helping other veterans and communities like the one I live in here. Thank you to everybody that supports our veterans. There's no better community to support, in my opinion. Thank you.
Front and center. It's like old friends we've heard. Dennis Valchek. Please come up. You see, if I don't put you in the right spot, Pam's gonna kill me. Dennis Valchek, a Hillsborough resident, a U.S. Navy veteran, and a local business owner who has served the Board of Adjustment for over 16 years. Dennis has attended over 200 meetings and has almost a perfect attendance. He has given his lifetime selfishly to the township and community as a member of the Board of Adjustment. Dennis Valchek also owned Frank D. Valchek Incorporated School Bus Transportation for 58 years, providing buses to Hillsborough School District over the years, and as a past Rotary member, he enjoys volunteering his buses and time to the community whenever needed. Dennis has lived in Hillsborough for 58 years, just starting, and enjoyed his time with his wife Barbara, his 3 stepchildren Michelle, Dominic, and Rocco, and his granddaughter Journey. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and honor Dennis Valchek for his serving Hillsborough for the past 16 years. Thank you. He never says a word, but I'm going to make him say.
I just enjoyed being on the board all these years. It's a little different being down here than up there, though. But it's very enjoyable. And you get to know ahead of time what's happening in town. That's what I like.
Back up, start over. Reese Wolf. Reese Wolf, a Hillsborough resident, a Rutgers Preparatory School junior, it's a long word, and member of the Girl Scout Troop 32072, has earned her Gold Award. Reese's Gold Award project involved creating an informal video and website on girls lacrosse, wherein experts explain the most important skills in the game and pro players share numerous stories, advice, memories, and tips. Reese has received honors in academic achievement and community service and is a member of the Rutgers Prep school varsity volleyball and varsity lacrosse teams, and is a member of the Sports Marketing Club. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Reese Wolf for having earned her Gold Scout Award and honor for both her and those who have guided her. And we wish Reese all the best in your future endeavors.
I would just like to start off by first thanking my parents for their constant support with everything, as well as the mayor and the township committee. This award really means a lot to me, knowing that I help the community in a way that I really love. Thank you, guys.
Mom and Dad want to come up? Sister? Family picture? Christmas cardboard? Holiday cardboard? I said to Reese she had to keep up with her sister because her sister got a gold award just a little while ago, so had to keep up with the Joneses. So good year for the family. They gotta come marching in.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, I've been working on that one all day. The Hillsborough Marching Band, Pride of Hillsborough.
It's a pretty small band. It's just you?
I can't carry a bucket, let alone a tune. Spread out along the back here behind us. Show your colors.
Well, I'll even scooch up a little bit. Depending on how long this meeting goes, it's going to determine if we open.
We can have some room. We can stack up on top there behind all. Yeah.
We're not scared. Come on.
Well, it's a base.
Stand where the mayor is.
Pam's directing.
Sorry about the thing here. You got tons of room there.
There you go. Now you close together.
Where'd Coach go? Oh, there you go. Lost you for a minute. We got some more coming in? See, if they had music stuff in their hands, they'd know where to go. We got a few more stragglers. Come on in.
Lost his ID.
All right. I think that's it, Coach. All right. Big group. The Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band had another very successful season to their hard work and dedication. The Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, led by Julie Herron, Director of Bands Nicholas Clipperton, Associate Director of Bands and Drum Majors Caroline Capabianca, Jonathan Waller, and Jessica Wu, and consists of the following band members. So, I don't know, we can hand this to everybody? Everybody shout your name. All those guys. The Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band received the title of 2021 Group 4 Open New Jersey State Champions and were awarded Caption Awards for Best Music, Best Overall Effect, and Best Percussion. We have some mean drummers. The marching band also received the title of Yamaha Cup Champions and were awarded Caption Awards for Best Music, Best Overall Effect, Best Percussion, and Best Color Guard also. Congratulations. I have to say, I've had the pleasure of watching you these past years, and I said, this is a long way from the marching bands that used to be when Doug and I were in high school, for sure. It has come a long way. It's a stage performance I've seen otherwise. But now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend all the members of the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, not only for their amazing season and state title, but also having the unwavering teamwork and dedication to a successful season. Congratulations to you all.
Yeah, I'm Caroline. I'm Jessica.
I'm Jonathan.
And we're really glad we get to be here tonight. And we're really thankful for the season we've gotten to have, especially after the 2020 season. Coming back to a season with competitions was amazing. And it kind of showed us again why we do this and how much we love it. So thank you, Nick and Jules, for putting all your work into this season. And we're really, really glad we get to be here. And I'm also really proud of you. Thanks, parents. We appreciate the grandparents.
Yeah, the band parents are the worker bees, man. And they're pushing all that stuff all over the place. I mean, they would be up. So, would you like to say something?
Nope.
Nope, that's it.
Let's take a photo.
How do you do this? Yeah, you guys got scooch, you just got scooch together.
Just kind of turn sideways.
There you go.
Turn sideways, face the center.
Yeah,
Everybody turn sideways, face the center, and move in. There you go. I can't even flip those.
Somebody hit something.
You guys gotta come that way, closer, turn sideways. And if I can have the two attorneys, sorry.
Bernstein, could you step down?
Get out of the picture. Not in the band.
Okay. Which one yet? Attorney, Willard, can you move the chair? Sorry.
She's the next band director.
Want to take the picture?
I'm trying. That one. Oh. Yeah. All right. Up here.
Parents, anyone wants to come up? Now's the time. If you want to come in.
People up there. How many?
Get there.
Yeah.
Get there.
Get on the e-news.
Yeah.
Parents, it's just to take the picture. Nobody move after we're done with pictures, because we have something we always do when we have the big group out.
So what we normally do is, Patty's going to give you a 1, 2, 3, and you're going to yell Hillsborough, the good life, and yell it like you're playing music, okay?
Picture coming up. 2, 1.
Congratulations.
To be that age again. You need a hand or something? Send somebody else to do it. Oh, we're doing football now, so it'll be the same prep.
Yeah, I think players.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with them. They're undefeated. They are undefeated.
Okay, Coach Cardi and Posse. Our own Hillsborough High School varsity football team. Couple guys get on top too. All of a sudden, I got a lot shorter.
I have a feeling we're about to get up again.
We're all set. Nobody start until I start. All right. We good? All right. The Hillsborough High School varsity football team had a record-breaking historic season due to their hard work and dedication. This is the first Raider team in program history to have an undefeated season. Never broken, but could be tied. We'll always have that. The Hillsborough High School varsity team that consisted of, everybody, yell it out. What's your names?
Jack.
Well, Dan took better direction, Coach. You want to try that again? On three, yell your names. 1, 2, 3. The Hillsborough High School varsity football team had an undefeated season of 13-0 and achieved the title of NJSIAA South Group 5 Regional Champions with a 28-7 win over Kingsway Regional High School. The football team also achieved the title of NJSIA Central Jersey Group 5 Sectional Champions with a 35-8 win over North Brunswick Township High School. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend all the members of the Hillsborough High School varsity football team, not only for their amazing season and the championships they won, but also their unwavering teamwork, dedication, and sportsmanship throughout the season. Be it further proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend the Hillsborough High School varsity football team for the honor they have brought themselves, their team, and our community through their many achievements on and off the field. So there are some things going on in the works, and then it's been nailed down. So you'll hear more about it. But the season's going to end on Saturday. We got Mr. Valchek's buses, and we're going to take the entire team and all those they invite through a victory tour, escorted by our PD and police through the entire town of Hillsborough. It'll start around 11, and so listen for the sirens. It's not an emergency. Go out and cheer your local Hillsborough High School football team and our heroes.
Mayor Pennoni, Township Committee, I want to thank you so much for the honor, or on behalf of this team. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for all the support. We'd like to thank all the people in the community, all the parents that are here, the coaches, Bruce Wayne, our Booster Club president. So many people are here that supported us to have this great season. And really in the last day, having on the last game, getting that police and fire escort to the last game, all the fans and community that we had at Rucker Stadium, it was really just so impressive to see the community behind these guys. And I know it meant so much to me. I know that it meant so much to all these guys. So thank you, Mayor, committee, everyone in the community, parents. These guys really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're gonna do the same thing the band did. 1, 2, 3, Hillsborough, the good life. Yell it loud, all right?
Coach Cardi, can you come back up, please? So as I told Coach, with victory comes the spoils. Hillsborough High School coach, head football coach, Kevin Cardi has been named Courier News Coach of the Year. Coach Cardi graduated from Somerville High School, although we won't hold it against him, where he led the Pioneers to a state sectional championship in 1994, playing for his father, the legendary coach Kevin Cardi Sr. Kevin Cardi went on to play at the University of North Carolina and William & Mary, and then coached football at Somerville High School, Patterson Kennedy, Bound Brook High, before coming to Hillsborough High School. Coach Cardi had led the Hillsborough High School football team for 11 seasons and earned his 100th career coaching victory at the regional championship win over Kingsway. Coach Cardi has an overall record of 66-46, and the team has advanced to the playoffs in all but 2 seasons during his tenure. As previously mentioned, the team won both the Central Group 5 sectional title and regional championship. This is the first state title since 2000 and the third in school history. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby congratulate Kevin Cardi for his exceptional coaching this past season and throughout his successful career in Hillsborough. Congratulations.
Everyone, thanks again. I want to repeat all the same thank yous for the team award. And on top of that, I'd also just like to thank all the guys, the players that we have in the back for being able to help us through this special year that we had today. And it really was just such a pleasure to be able to coach you guys this season. Thanks again.
Congratulations, Coach.
So now we have a couple of local flavors. First, I'd like to call up former committee woman, Olivia Holmes. So we have she used to sit next to me. We used to pass notes like in school. We have a plaque commemorating the years you spent on the Township Committee and your official name placard. And we wish to thank, it's also her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday. you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Olivia. Happy birthday to you.
So, as a committee, it's tough to put yourself up here. We've all been here. You go out and you try and do work for a township. You give your honest and best effort. And she was a great model for our community, and we wish you all the best and future success in whatever you do.
Thank you, Sean.
I found it an honor to serve this township. I've lived here, I think, 36 years now, longer than I lived anywhere in my life. And I love this town. And I loved every minute of sitting on the dais. I'd like to point out that in the audience, we have Assemblyman Roy Fryman. He's very busy. And it's really an honor that he would come out for this. So I just wanted to thank you. There's really nothing I have to say except Pam Borg said the first day I sat down with her that it would take 2 years to learn this job. And it does. You know, there's a lot of land use and codes, and I read all of them. So I just want to tell you all, I loved every minute of being your committee woman, and now I'm getting emotional. But thank you.
She does.
Probably better be gone.
Jeffrey. So we also have a plaque. We had a split year, so obviously Jeffrey stepped in for Olivia when she had to recuse herself. And a lot of the same things. He went through the learning process, and he put his heart and soul into helping this town. And we are indebted and dedicated and indebted to your service. And we're a better place for you being here. Thank you so much.
I'm going to start off by saying thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to serve you guys as a community. I like to think that I put you guys first. It was never about Jeff. It was really about the voters, the town, and the community. I also want to give a big thanks to Anthony for meeting with me on a monthly basis just to bring me up to speed. Sean was a true gentleman the whole time, and I appreciate the way you treated me, as well as the rest of the days. Except for Doug. No, I'm joking.
It's gotta be tough up here.
All jokes aside, thank you, Pam, as well. And thank you to the people behind the scenes who gave me the opportunity to get up here and just represent the town. Assemblyman Roy, thank you for coming out as well. Thanks to my party who supported me behind the scenes. It's a lot of work to get up here. And I'll say this, it kind of started when I was in the back of the room like you guys. You know, I played football for Piscataway High School. Hopefully you won't hold that against me. But it took those team building skills to even have the courage to be up on a dais like this where you're making decisions that affect the community that you love and live in. So I hope you guys can step up so our future can continue to look bright. Excuse me for stuttering. But the future looks good seeing you guys. And congratulations on your career and to the band and all the other recipients. And Olivia, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate you.
Now we need a little bit of, we're just going to gloat on ourselves, so please give us a few minutes. Saban, Spano. Saban Spano, Dr. Thomas J. Davy Academic Achievement Award. Each year in New Jersey, Municipal Managers Associations conducts an award ceremony at the New Jersey League of Municipalities Annual Conference. Hillsborough Township is proud to announce that our health officer, Saban Spano, received the Dr. Thomas J. Davy Academic Achievement Award. Nominees must be outstanding educators in the general field of public administration, whether in or out of local government. We are all proud of the efforts of Saban and her team. Congratulations, Saban. This is well deserved and probably over way too late, but congratulations.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to say that we wouldn't be able to do the work we do in the health department without a supportive administration and a very dedicated team, and a lot of very excellent collaborators that we have in the health field through the county, and a very patient bunch of people, residents that live in this town, because we've been changing and switching around from so many different rules and regulations on the COVID, and everybody's been very patient and doing a great job getting vaccinated and really doing an excellent job. So I appreciate it. We all appreciate it in the health department. Thank you.
Some more hardware. I love props. David Coyce. Sustainable Jersey Silver Recertification. This is David Coyce. Sustainable Jersey representative announced that Hillsborough Township has once again met the stringent requirements to achieve silver certification. The silver level means a municipality has made significant progress in a number of categories towards sustainability and is a statewide and national leader. Hillsborough Township was one of 52 towns and that have attained certification in 2021 and was honored at the Sustainable New Jersey annual luncheon at the New Jersey State League of Municipalities Conference. Hillsborough has been at the forefront of sustainability issues since 2006, with notable projects in the areas of energy, economic development, green infrastructure, and environmental and habitat conservation. Hillsborough is the most sustainable Jersey certified town in Somerset County and the second most certified town in New Jersey. We are very proud of our participation in Sustainable Jersey and all of our ever-expanding sustainable initiatives throughout the community. Thank you to our business advocate and Sustainable Director David Coyce, the volunteers and municipal employees who contribute to this event. He gets a lot of stuff. Keep going.
Yeah, I want to do the black first.
Want to do the black first? All right. I'm going to take a brief pause. Switch. No, don't move. Take that one. Additionally, we are recognizing David Coyce as the March 2020 Sustainable Hero. Yes, that was a recognition of 2020. We had a little issue with the C word. Congratulations, David, on a job well done. That's it. Devils fan. So as I said, Victor go the spoils. It has not gone unrecognized, but that's all right. It's translucent by his peers. David Coyce was the recipient of the Somerset County Business Partnership 2021 Top 40 Under 40. The Somerset County Business Partnership conducted an award ceremony yesterday in their annual meeting. And we are proud to announce our very own David Coyce was honored as one of the top 40 under 40 professionals in Somerset County. David, I'd say keep up the good work, but I know you will, because that's who you are. We are very proud of you. And I wish you and all of you, your family, the best success for the future. All right. I feel like Monty Hall down there. Can we all go? I moved my chair. They messed it all up.
That was the band.
Yeah, was that the band, not the football team? All right. So that concludes our proclamations and presentations at the evening for this evening. So those who want to stay for a meeting, more than happy to stay. If you want to go home and go have some dinner, watch a game or whatever, you're free to go. Congratulations to all.
Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history. Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America. From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms, where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds, to the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River. You're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime, and experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Good morning, and welcome to the opening of the Peter J. Biandi Route 206 bypass here in Hillsborough Township. Thank you for joining us here today for this very much anticipated event here. Can't think of one that we've been waiting for longer. As we open the remaining sections of this vital roadway, which has been named in memory of the late Assemblyman Peter J. Biandi. This roadway will officially open for traffic on Saturday, June 5th. I'm joined here today by my colleagues, the Hillsborough Township Committee, Deputy Mayor Frank Delcor, Committeeman Doug Thompson, Committeewoman Janine Erickson, and Committeeman Jeffrey Wright. I would also like to thank this opportunity to introduce some other guests here this morning. Senator Kip Bateman, who was a sponsor of the legislation to actually get this road named after the late Assemblyman Biandi, and thank you for that. Assemblyman Roy Fryman, Commissioner Paul Drake, and please help me welcome Miss Joan Biandi. Thank you for being here today on this historic day for Hillsborough Township. The late Assemblyman Peter J. Biandi was a pillar in our community for over 35 years. As a result of time serving the community as a member of the Township Committee, Mayor, Freeholder, and Assemblyman, he was often referred to as Mr. Hillsborough. During his entire tenure in public life, he remained committed to the betterment of Hillsborough. His tireless dedication and support of Hillsborough was unwavering, hence why in 2013 this roadway was officially named after Peter J. Biandi. The bypass is a vital part of Hillsborough's economic development. Not only will it bypass lessen congestion and traffic along the existing 206, but will also serve as the impetus for a future town center that is envisioned in our township master plan. This long-awaited and much-anticipated vision is now a reality. Originally considered in the early 1970s as the Hillsborough Township began to develop, unfortunately it remained only a concept until the early 2000s. In August 2010, township, local, and state officials broke ground to officially start the construction of the bypass at midsection, similar to where we're standing right now. We thank past and current state administrators for their diligence in seeing this project through. This portion will shift traffic on the new 3.6-mile section of US 206 to the east of the existing highway between Mountain View Road and Old Somerville Road, creating the opportunity for further development of the town center along the current 206. The project limits are from Mountain View Road to Hillsborough Road on the southern end, and from Animal Road, Somerset County Road 514 to Old Somerville Road on the northern end. To the north, the widening will continue until the final phase is complete. We have looked forward to this day, and we now look forward to the development of our downtown.
Okay, so we're back. It's 8:31. We do have a presentation from our health department, so I'll call Siobhan up to give us what she's got to say.
So I actually have Robin Blamis, who's our health educator that we got through our grant, and she's going to make the presentation.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if I should be offended or glad that you let everybody go.
They're going to watch at home.
I'm sure. They'll catch it later. So thank you for allowing us a few minutes to speak tonight. Who's doing the slides?
I am.
Okay, so you can go to the next one. Again, my name is Robin Blamis. I am part of the Vulnerable Populations Outreach Coordination Team, working under Siobhan at the Health Department. We received a grant from the New Jersey Department of Health about a year ago, and the funding has been extended through next June and hopefully even further than that. And we are working to identify and assist the vulnerable populations of Hillsborough regarding COVID-19 impact, as well as health disparities in general. Next slide. So the original assessment was conducted last. The original assessment to identify the health needs of Hillsborough residents was conducted last spring. And as part of our grant, we needed to update that assessment, which was done in September. So we reviewed all of our data sources, and we had done focus groups with all of these groups in Hillsborough. So we solicited additional feedback from them to see if our findings were still valid and if they had any other populations or health issues that they thought we should address. And then we updated those findings. A copy of the full assessment will be put on the Health Department website. So an update, sorry, this is a little small, but an update on the impact of COVID in Hillsborough. We are at over 4,000 cases now and 113 deaths. Most recent death was within the last few months of a resident in his 70s. Overall, you can see by the middle chart that the effect of COVID was fairly balanced across age groups. However, the death rates were much, much higher for those over 70. The bar graph on the left, you can see the blue bars are cases and the orange parts are deaths. So we saw, I think 90% of the deaths were people in their 70s and over. Just a note that we are seeing increasing case counts in town. This is true across Somerset County, across the state, across the Northeast. Just recently, we saw the highest daily case count since April 2021. And we also have several active outbreaks at long-term care facilities. Some of the impacts that we found in our assessment ranged from physical and mental health impacts, impacts on education and employment, mental and emotional toll on children and adults, increase of loneliness in the elderly, lack of access to mental health practitioners for mental health issues, education. We are happy to be back to full-time in-person learning because we know that had a negative impact on a lot of our students. And the school did a great job in identifying some of the youth who are particularly disengaged and at risk of falling behind through a summer assistance program. Employment in Hillsborough, the unemployment rate is what it was pre-COVID, but as we are hearing about across the country, there's a shortage of workers in many settings, retail, daycare, restaurants, long-term care, etc. And we've heard of a general lack of access to employment and workforce development services for young adults after high school graduation, those who aren't going on to college. Human and social services, thankfully, most are back up and running and in person. Hurricane Ida put additional pressure on these agencies providing services. Housing continues to be a struggle, and the funding provided is helpful, but it doesn't cover everybody affected. In terms of community resources, the overall food pantry requests are down from this point last year. It's thought to be from the free breakfast and lunch for all students, the extra tax credit, and WIC's addition to the EBT cards. Community resources, they're continuing to coordinate efforts after Ida. Something we heard throughout the assessment collection of data is that those in the community who don't have a car really struggle to access services because of the lack of community infrastructure and public transportation. And overall, there was a disproportionate impact to Latinos, particularly those with low income, and noted by several community leaders was a lack of representation of Black and Latino families at leadership levels. The good news is Hillsborough is doing well in vaccination rates. This data is as of December 9th. Overall, Hillsborough is 73% vaccinated across all ages. You can see that goes up by age group so that 65 and older. The data we get from the state says 119% are vaccinated. This is data issues due to the existence of long-term care facilities, double counting. Needless to say, we're doing pretty well in the 65 and over. And over 24% of the population has received a booster dose. I think this is probably even higher now because we've been doing a lot of booster doses at the health department. In terms of our vaccination by race and ethnicity, the blue bars represent the percent of the population, and the red bars are the percent of the population that of each ethnicity. So for example, 66% of the population of Hillsborough is white, and 50% of the vaccinations that have been done are for white people. So it's fairly evenly spread across race and ethnicities. The Asian population is the most highly vaccinated in the town. This is additional data we got from the state, coverage by age. Obviously, the 5 to 11 year olds are just starting. 12 to 17, just about 60%, which is not quite enough to give us herd immunity in school settings like middle schools and high schools where we continue to see outbreaks. And then we see a dip in the coverage for 50 to 64-year-old. It's lower than some of the other age groups. So some of our efforts are going to focus on that age group in the future. Some of the barriers and hesitancy to vaccination that we've been hearing around town, misconceptions and lack of knowledge about access, thinking that you have to have health insurance, that it costs something, or that you need documentation, misconceptions about safety, the development, testing, efficacy, or the necessity of vaccines, concerns about short-term and long-term side effects, difficulty taking time off work, seniors without access to technology, homebound residents, distrust of vaccines and government, as well as historic and structural racism, ableism, and other forms of oppression where people just really don't have a trust in their health department or governments. So this is the action plan that we have put in place since last spring. We developed a COVID collaborative, which is a group of key community leaders and representation from the schools, business association, faith-based leaders, nonprofit groups, and we meet monthly to guide additional programs to meet the needs of the community. We connect to groups who work with vulnerable populations, such as churches and nonprofits, and do education and outreach at community events. We do a lot of education and information sharing through the school district emails, community events. We're working with doctors' offices, posting on social media and the health department website, and everything from vaccine hesitancy, where to get vaccinated in Hillsborough, where to get tested, an explanation of the difference between isolation, quarantine, and travel restriction guidance, tips for celebrating holidays safely. Biggest part of our work right now are the vaccination clinics. We're doing boosters and ages 5+ right now, and also are coordinating with Hillsborough Pharmacy and the county to do homebound visits for those residents who are not able to get out of their homes. Our clinics have been at the high school, the municipal building right here. We had one this afternoon, apartment complexes, as well as private businesses. When we ever get a break from COVID, we have additional plans to do emergency preparedness work to get us ready for any future disasters, connecting residents to those social supports that do exist, distributing resource directories to the public to let them know what exists out there, as well as continued data collection and assessments. Happy to answer any questions. Yes.
Quick question. The new variants, is that here yet? And have we seen it in New Jersey or Hillsborough?
I believe there's 2 cases of it in New Jersey, both of them connected to the anime convention in New York City. So right now our data says that 99.9% of the cases are Delta still, and Omicron is very small. But in Europe, Omicron took like 3 weeks to take over all of the cases, so it could happen here.
Okay. Thank you.
So we're 73% in town vaccinated. What's the average nationally or by the state? I mean, how do we rank?
I think across the country, it's something like 60%. I think in New Jersey, Somerset County is slightly better than the average. So I think Hillsborough is one of the higher towns in Somerset County. So overall, we're doing well. There's just certainly pockets of people who are not vaccinated and certain age groups that are not vaccinated yet that can continue to lead to outbreaks.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Siobhan.
Thank you.
Yeah. I took it to them. All right, so there's no new business at this time, so we will entertain any public comment on new business and matters not on today's agenda. If you want to come up to the mic, state your name and address for the record, and make any comment that is not on today's agenda.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. I'm also a Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Camp Road. I attended the Hillsborough Township Planning Board meeting this past Thursday, December 9th. The application before the planning board was for JSM at Hillsborough LLC, which is the former Cost Cutters site. And Douglas Wolfson, who is a former Superior Court judge, is the attorney for the applicant Jack Morris of JSM at Hillsborough LLC, Edgewood Properties. The way I was treated by attorney Douglas Wolfson was really very deplorable. And Chairman Carl Sirachi of the Hillsborough Township Planning Board did nothing when Attorney Douglas Wolfson bullied me. Attorney Douglas Wolfson badgered me. I felt that Attorney Douglas Wolfson was attempting to intimidate me. Attorney Douglas Wolfson taunted me by saying to me, "Why don't you donate your property?" That came out of nowhere. I asked again, "What are you talking about?" He said, "If you want affordable housing, why don't you donate your property?" Why didn't Chairman Carl Sirachi say something to Attorney Douglas Wolfson? That was very uncalled for. Had I said something like that, I'm sure everyone would have had comments to make to me and reprimanded me. Attorney Douglas Wolfson ordered me to reword my questions according to the words he wanted me to say. Now, he had been a former Superior Court judge, but at that public hearing, he was the attorney for JSM at Hillsborough. There was no, as far as I can see, authority for him to talk to me that way. And then, and still, Carl Sirachi said nothing. Mayor, you said nothing. The attorney for the planning board, Attorney Bernstein, said nothing. And then when I had asked another question, Attorney Douglas Wolfson wanted me to reword the question and then said to me, "Why don't you go sit down?" And at that point, when no one said anything to him, I felt I needed to defend myself. And so I said to him, "This is not a court proceeding. This is a public hearing." And then Chairman Sirachi said to me, "Ask your question or go sit down." I was trying to ask my question, and Attorney Douglas Wolfson repeatedly interrupted me and told me to reword my questions according to the words that he wanted me to use. That was a very, very I don't know what to say on that. I felt no one cared about me as a Hillsborough Township property owner, and no one defended my right to be there and ask questions, and I wasn't doing anything that was disrespectful. I was asking questions in regard to the application, and the attorney, Douglas Wolfson, was the one who was disrespectful, who thought that he could run the show, and apparently he was allowed to because no one said anything to him. And I had some questions that I wanted to ask. Everything was directed based on the witnesses, and I said, will I be able to, there are questions I want to ask in regard to this application that a witness is not talking about. When can I do that? And I was told I can ask questions after the witnesses, everything, when the public can ask questions. But when I went up, I was told I can't ask questions. I was told I can make comments and I can express my feelings. I don't want to express my feelings. I had questions. I wanted to know if JSM at Hillsborough is an intervener in Hillsborough Township's court-ordered affordable housing. I mentioned that, but no one answered that question. I wanted to know if JSM at Hillsborough has a settlement agreement, but I wasn't able to ask that question, so I don't know if they do or not. And I wanted to know if Judge Thomas C. Miller approved the ordinance that was adopted specifically for the applicant, Jack Morris's property, but I was not able to ask that question. There are serious issues with vapor being emitted by chemicals from the dry cleaning business that was previously on that property. And I wanted to find out if that was taken care of and addressed, because that was an issue that the Environmental Commission had brought up, that those vapors are closer to the property than is permitted by law. And now they want to put up a residential development over there. There also had been an oil tank that needed to be addressed. And there's groundwater contamination. But I could not ask any of these questions. I was told, make comments and express your feelings. Well, I don't think a public hearing should be for expressing of feelings. I think it should be a chance to ask questions of the applicant, especially I am a Hillsborough Township property owner. I pay taxes. Now, that shouldn't even be an issue. Anybody from the public who comes to a public hearing should be able to ask questions. And the way I was treated was absolutely deplorable, and no one said a word to Attorney Douglas Wolfson, which also was deplorable. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We will move on to public hearings. 2021-23 ordinance authorizing the sale of block 142.02, lot 18, Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, to Key Hall Realty LLC. The transfer of property is effectuated via ordinance. The township attorney has found that this to be acceptable. May I have a motion to open to public hearing on ordinance 2021-23?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none. Any discussion from the dais? Any discussion from the floor on 2021-23?
Maria, can you just bring your stuff up to the front row? Because it'll be so much quicker for you each time. You
Just
can
like to
literally
sit
save
in front.
yourself 30 seconds.
Gives me a little exercise.
I know, but we do have time constraints. and it'd be
Okay,
better for all
well,
of us.
I'm
I'd
sorry, if
appreciate
it takes me too long, then I'll come up over
Just
here.
easier for both of us.
Okay. Maria Janusik. So this ordinance states that the property in question was supposed to have been sold back in 2005 to Larissa Realty. And then nothing was done until 2015. So what was going on with that property during those 10 years? I mean, if the original transaction didn't go forward, why wasn't something done with that? What was going on with that property? It seems like it was just in a state of limbo.
Mayor, I can answer that.
Sure.
I try to be specific in this particular ordinance that I prepared in 2005. The township had acquired this property. It's just a small parcel of land. It's 0.145 acres. It's really no use to the township. I believe we acquired it by a tax sale foreclosure. Nobody wanted the municipal lien. So we ended up with the ownership of that property. Larissa Realty, which is the gas station that was right next door, expressed an interest in buying it to make it contiguous with their property. So that ordinance was adopted in 2005. However, at that point in time, we still had the NJDOT with the 206 project, and the NJDOT wanted a right of way and some other easements on that particular property. So we wanted to make sure the NJDOT got what they needed for the Route 206 project before closing title and everything. And well, the state was less than, I guess, responsive. It took them quite a period of time, and 10 years later, they did come to us. They did obtain their right of way, and that's why a 2015 ordinance was adopted, where we gave a right of way to the NJDOT that they finally needed, and that has now brought us to this particular point because Larissa Realty has since sold the property, but the new owner indicated they're also interested in buying it, so that's where we're at now, and this can finally take place because the NJDOT has what they need.
Who is Larissa Realty? Are they still in
Larissa,
existence?
it used to be the owner of the gas station, the Laura's gas station there on 206.
So that gas station was also a realty, a
No,
realtor?
the company that owned it was.
That was just the name of the owner of the
Just
property.
name of the
Larissa
owner of the
Realty
property.
owned the property, but it was a gas station.
It's a
I think
gas
it's called Larissa Gas Station. I don't know what it was.
So then it was delayed because of NJDOT and the widening of 206. We waited 10 years for them to get their plans together to find out what the easement they needed to take. So what's left over is 0.145 acres, which that new owner now is going to pay us $13,000 for that
And
small
again,
piece
this
of
is
property.
something we obviously don't need.
And we don't need it.
We have no use for it.
Is there a copy of that agreement between Larissa Realty and Hillsborough, that original
In
agreement?
2005, I'm
Yes.
sure there is.
I don't even know if it even got that far. It just might be the ordinance itself, but
Ordinance.
it's really immaterial.
It doesn't matter. They left.
Yeah.
Because who is Key Hall?
They're the new owner of
Realty?
the gas
Who's
station.
that? What?
They new owner of the gas station.
And that's what they're called, Key Hall
That's the
Realty?
name of the
They're-
parent
It's not a
company.
realty company, it's just Key Hall Realty?
Just whatever they want to call their company. They can call it
I'm not- I'm
ABC
just asking, I'm not-
Manufacturing. Yeah, the owner
And
of
the answer is they call themselves Key Hall Realty LLC. That's
Okay. The market value being shown, 13,000, is that what it was appraised at back in 2005, or is that a new appraisal?
No, we didn't get a new appraisal. It wasn't worth the cost. I mean, we're talking about 0.145 acres of land.
And they're getting less than they originally were getting.
And they're getting less land than they were originally getting. That's true, Mayor. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion from the floor? Seeing none. Motion to close and adopt.
So moved.
Second. Roll call,
I'm
please.
sorry, I can't see.
Mr. Thompson, and then second by Mr. Wright.
Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes.
Committeewoman Thompson?
Yes.
Committeewoman Wright?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes.
Thank you.
2021-24, ordinance amending the Chapter 92 of the Police Department, Article 2, Establishment and Organization, Section 92-8, Appointments and Promotions of the Code of Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey. This ordinance updates the timeline relative to sergeant's test, making it valid for 3 years instead of 2. May I have a motion to open to public hearing 2021-24?
Second.
So Mr. Wright was first, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Comments from the dais? I'll just make that this is strictly a clerical changing. When the sergeant takes a test, it is valid for 3 years instead of 2 because the cost of the test is prohibited. It allows that sergeant not to have to go spend, what is it, $10,000 to take a test nowadays?
It's not to take the test, it's a study
It's a
class.
study class, so
That's ridiculous.
It's just giving our sergeants some relief and some flexibility not to have to retake the test. So that's essentially what this ordinance is about. So at this time, we will take any, okay, hold on. Is there any other comments from the dais? Okay, comments from the floor.
So it says here, written exam administered by the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association or other organization selected by the Chief of Police. So what other organization could be the provider of the written exam?
There's other organizations that do it, but we use the state chief's exam.
So if a private company, ABC, wants to administer it and a police officer wants to take it, maybe it's less money. It has to be approved by the Chief of Police for them to take that class outside that.
So that's an option of the
If-
police
if-
officer?
Yes.
Nope, it's the chief.
Of the chief.
Option of the chief. I didn't understand what you were saying. The police officer has to pay to take this exam,
The study course, yes.
the study course? And what was it, what you say, what was the?
It's not
approximate-
cheap.
It's very expensive. I think it's like, it goes anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000.
I'm sorry, how much?
$3,000 to $5,000, and they had to do it every 2 years. And so they take it and they don't get promoted and they want to go. So it just creates an undue hardship on our
It was
sergeants.
an extra year. Okay, thank you.
Any comment else from the floor? Seeing none, motion to close and adopt.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes.
Committeewoman Thompson?
Yes.
Committeewoman Wright?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. 2021-25, ordinance amending Chapter 143 Vehicles and Traffic, Article 12 Schedules, section of 143-32 Schedule. This amends the traffic flow of the Hillsborough Road to include no stopping or standing, to include both sides of Hillsborough Road from the easterly edge of Route 206 extending 1,500 feet east. May I have a motion to open to public hearing? Thank you, Mr. Wright. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any discussion for the days? I'll just give a little background. This is the area from 206 heading east on Hillsborough Road near the Reckitt Benckiser factory, and we had issues with the tractor trailers queuing up there to get in the morning to get unloaded, which created an unsafe traffic environment. So the chief asked us for some relief so he could clear that road. So that's essentially what this does. So at this point, we'll make a motion open to the floor. I think we need to, right? No. Any comments from the floor on 2021-25? Okay. Motion to close and adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes.
Committeewoman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Thank you. Introduction of new ordinances, 2021-24 ordinance amending Chapter
I'm
9.
sorry, no,
We don't have any.
Nope, never mind. That was removed. All right, so we are now to the consent agenda. 1 through, it's a long consent agenda, 35. Anyone wishing to take any of these resolutions separately? Okay, I don't see any. So I may have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments from the dais from anybody on 1 through 35? Anything? Anthony, Mr. Ferrara? Put your foot down and,
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to, on consent 33 and 35, just wanted to welcome Anthony Di Fabrizio and Wilmer Dos Santos adding to our DPW team, especially it's a critical time with winter coming up. But these two gentlemen, I think, are going to be total assets to the township, and I see these guys moving up. These guys are looking at careers here in the township, and we're very happy to bring them on board. So I just wanted to welcome them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, any comments from the floor?
Maria Janusik,
Okay.
consent one, resolution confirming the issuance of bond anticipation notes in the amount of $1,140,387.97 to Piper Sandler and Company. It says here, these are bond anticipation notes for capital improvements and related expenses. What are the capital improvements and related expenses in regard to this bond anticipation notes?
So this essentially is a rollover of a bond that was already previously issued.
Correct.
So essentially, we have the ability to roll over and extend the bond. I believe this is for the depot, yeah, so over that they were going to put the solar fields possibly, yeah. So this is for the
Hillsborough properties.
Hillsborough properties over on the south end of town where we are looking to enter into contract with a person to purchase to put up solar fields.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing everything.
So
It's what
do you know
Hillsborough
where
Properties?
Mountain View Park is? Where
Somewhat.
off Mountain View
Yeah,
Road,
yeah.
down the south end of town, in the back where the township, the county owns property, there's baseball fields and we own property behind it.
Uh-huh.
So we rolled over the note because we are in negotiations with a company that was before the planning board, right before COVID, to put a solar field up back there.
Oh, for the solar farm back
Mhm.
there?
Yes,
And this is what that's in regard to?
yes.
Consent number two, resolution confirming the issuance of bond anticipation notes in the amount of $13,395,000 to Freehold Township. It says ordinance 2021-15 authorized the issuance of bonds or notes in the amount of $13,395,000.
That's the Mndell
What is this-
property.
What is this about?
So
Mndell property.
The Mndell property are down here off of Hamilton Road that we were bought for. We go out for a bid for bonds, and it is actually new to me that if there is a municipality that is catch rich, they can offer a bond, and we got a bond rate of 0.48% from Freehold Township, which is really like stupid cheap, but they make more money issuing that 1-year bond than putting it in the bank at whatever banks are paying. So if the municipality is cash rich and has money in the bank, then they can offer a bond, and that's what that's for.
Why doesn't it state in here that what it's in regard to, that it's the Mndell property? Why doesn't that?
Well, it refers to the ordinance, but that's what it was. It was from the Mndell property.
No, I understand, but why isn't that written in the body of this
It is,
ordinance?
it's ordinance 2021-15.
What is it?
Ordinance 2021-15.
Okay, so it's just reference to the.
And that ordinance
number,
authorized,
But not to the content of that ordinance.
Well, it references the ordinance. That's the way you do things.
Yeah, well, it references the ordinance, that's what I said, but we
Yes.
don't have the content, meaning we don't know that it's the Mndell property based
So
on
we do.
what's just written,
Ordinance 21-15.
based on what's just written here.
Okay.
All right, consent number three, resolution authorizing Pennoni Associates to perform a property survey of the Mndell property. Okay, and it says here funding for these services will be provided through account number 1-01-20-715-028. What is that? What is that account?
You'd have to contact Ms. Costa to see exactly what it is, but I'm sure it's a line item for our engineering account with Pennoni to handle these kind of things.
Okay. Consent number four, resolution authorizing execution of a memorandum of agreement and collective bargaining agreement between the Township of Hillsborough and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees of New Jersey, AFL-CIO, Local 3697. Who negotiated this agreement for the Township of Hillsborough?
That would be Mr. Ferrara and our personnel liaisons. And which attorney, Mr.
Labor
Flom?
attorney, Mr.
And
Flom.
Mr.
Mr.
Flom.
Flom.
Mr. Flom is our labor attorney.
So it was Mr. Flom and Mr. Ferrera, and who else?
Our personnel liaisons, which are Mr. Delcourt and Ms. Erickson.
Oh, the township committee members?
Mhm.
Uh-huh. So these negotiations for which employees are included in this agreement?
You want to answer that, Anthony?
Well, actually, throughout both of the agenda items is both of our white collar, which is our employees here in the building, and blue collars would look at as our DPW and parks. So both contracts were up this year, and we successfully negotiated with both, and we came to an agreement, both the township and the employees. So we have
Essentially
three
all
unions right
municipal
now.
employees.
So it's pretty
What do you
much,
say? So it's pretty much all the employees here in the township. I'm sorry? Right. So this specific one is for our white collar in the building here.
white collar in the building, but also would include the blue collar?
Not this specific resolution, no, not number 4.
So this is all strictly for the white collar
White collar here that's in the
employees.
building, that's probably the easiest to say, other than the PBA and our management and non-union people.
The PPA is included in this?
No, it's not. PBA contract's not up until next year.
2 years.
All right, so it's just the workers that are in.
For the most part, there's about 40 in the building here that are white collar, correct?
Okay. Consent number 5, resolution authorizing the transfer of earned amounts from the subdivision and site plan engineering trust accounts to the treasurer's account. In the first sentence, it says, whereas the assistant township engineer indicates inspections and engineering work have been completed for the indicated projects. So I see one of these projects is the Sherman Tract. So what kind of inspections and engineering work was completed that they're now getting this transfer?
Literally have answered this at every single meeting.
So what is
Mayor,
it?
if I
If you
could
notice-
finish real quick. We've literally done this at every single meeting with Ms. Janasek where she questions these line items. And we have explained to her at every single meeting exactly what happens when we do these transfers and do these payouts. So I'm confused why we're answering the same question again. When we literally have done this at every meeting, probably for 6 months now. It is the same answer that you've received at the previous 6 months of meetings. It's the same answer, Maria, let's be fair.
I'm asking what inspections and engineering work has been completed that now they can transfer this? I'm asking what inspections were done.
And the answer
what
is we don't.
engineering was done. What?
We don't know. You need to contact the engineering department for whatever specific items were done that the transfer of the escrow is there. We don't have a list of all that's been done. So it's the same answer we gave you every time you ask. If you have a particular question on what particular line items of the 12 or 15 that are here as to what you need to go contact the engineering department and they can tell you.
This resolution is up for approval by this board.
Right. And it's been
There should- there
certified
should-
by
there
our
should be-
engineer that
There
it's
should be
that
answer, there should
it's
be answers
complete.
to this when it states here that inspections and engineering work has been completed for the indicated projects. And instead of giving me an answer, I usually get the type of response that
Well, it's just-
Committeeman Thompson.
And I'd be continuing to give you that
Yes.
same exact response because the response is the answer.
Quite-
And
quite-
no,
quite
Maria,
quite obviously, this is going to be a continuing.
no, I look forward to seeing you at the next
Circus
meeting.
show.
We asked the same question and we're going to refer you to go back to engineering where they will provide you a detailed list of what services were
Well,
provided.
perhaps the next.
Maria,
perhaps
Maria,
the next
may I
time
fin-
something like
Maria,
this
if I
comes
could
up-
finish
you
my
interrupted
statement.
me.
No,
You
you
interrupted me. When the same thing happens, maybe.
Mayor,
it'd be
what's the
good to
time
have
limit
an
that we
answer.
have on these comments? Because I believe, if I remember correctly, it's comments. It is not questions. It is comments. Once again, I'll remind you.
Ms. Janasek?
What do you mean?
We-
This is
Ms. Johnson-
These are
comments?
comments. They're comments
You have-
on the consent
If you have
agenda.
information you want that is relevant to a new topic, but when you ask the same question that we've answered numerous times, it just
This is an-
becomes cumbersome because the answer, if you ask tomorrow or the next week, is going to be the same. You need to contact the department directly for detailed information as to what that would be. And so if you want to save yourself some time, you can just call and ask, and they'll be happy to tell you.
And I believe if you have a resolution here that's going to be requiring approval, this governing body should know what you're approving,
And again, Mayor, this was certified by our township
Yeah, it's being
engineer
certified.
and through
Right.
our clerk and through our administrator. And I'm comfortable moving forward. In fact, I'm going to be making a motion in the next 3 or 4 minutes to close comments on the consent agenda.
You have
Consent
something
number
else?
9, resolution authorizing one-time stipend to Jay Aldrich for obtaining his plumbing subcode official's license. And that is the amount of $1,000. Why is this stipend given, and it's included in the contract that when someone gets their license, they get
That's
rewarded?
correct. Yes, Maria, that's correct. It's in the union
I'm sorry, I
contract.
can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
It's in the union contract.
It's in the white collar contract once they get their license. Or, I'm sorry, a DPW. It's in the DPW contract as well, blue collar. So when employees get certain certifications, they get a one-time stipend for completing that certification. It's in the contracts.
And that one-time stipend is always $1,000, or is it more or less
That's correct. It's 1,000.
1,000?
Mhm.
Consent number 13, resolution amending the 2021 Township Committee meeting schedule. And it looks like there's another meeting added for December 20th, special
That's-
meeting.
It's so we can take a picture, but because we have 5 people together, we have to advertise it as a meeting. Because
That's the only thing,
that's
that's
it.
what the purpose
It's a
is.
quorum, yep. You're welcome to come. It's open.
It will be 5 minutes.
I know, so don't be late.
Okay. Consent 17, resolution adopting the operating manual for the housing rehabilitation program, the Township of Hillsborough. And the purpose, I guess, is administration of its housing rehabilitation program. What has been done as far as this administration prior to this operating manual? How is that handled?
Because as part of the obligation, Mr. Mayor, of the township's affordable housing program, it is required to adopt, as every other town in the state that has affordable housing, a rehabilitation program. And within the context of that rehabilitation program, the courts require the creation of a housing rehabilitation program manual, an administrative manual on how to operate the rehabilitation program, which the township has been required to undergo, along with every other town that has an affordable housing obligation, has as a piece of it the creation of a rehab program, and this is the manual.
This housing rehabilitation program, is this something new?
No, it's
Okay.
been required by the state of New Jersey for every affordable housing round since 1975.
So there's a prior operating manual, and now this is a new one for the next.
This is the new one that's been required to do for this round.
Okay, but there was a prior one.
I believe there was.
Yes.
Okay. Consent number 18, resolution adopting an affirmative marketing plan for the Township of Hillsborough. Who put together this affirmative marketing plan?
I believe it was created, and don't quote,
Uniform Housing and Ability Controls.
what? I believe it was CME.
Yeah.
Who was our affordable housing market, who was in charge of overseeing our affirmative marketing program for affordable housing.
So they're the people that oversee when people apply for affordable housing. They are the company that is the
Okay, so prior to this.
facilitator of that.
I'm sorry.
They're the facilitator of that program.
Okay. So how has the affordable housing been marketed so far without this affirmative marketing?
It's been marketed in this manner. One of the additional requirements for the township to be completed in its affordable housing program is the adoption of this affirmative marketing plan, and for the township committee to adopt a resolution approving the affirmative marketing plan, which is basically a codification of what has been going on all along.
Was there anything in writing prior to this?
Yes.
About 2 minutes away.
Was that also called the marketing plan for the affordable housing or something?
It was called an affirmative marketing plan. Whether it was called that specifically in terms of this form, no. But there are requirements that we have had in place all along.
So you changed the form of the
We comply with the form the state created, which is, you notice, has been filled in as part of the resolution. This is a state-created form. This is not a form that we created. This is a state-created form that we are required to fill in.
Prior to this, there was no state form.
There was a state form. It was required to be completed as part of this process. It's been followed in terms of the provisions of the affordable housing controls throughout the affordable housing process.
Okay. Consent number 25, resolution authorizing mayor and township clerk to execute the lot owner access concurrence agreement and lot owner lease agreement for the New Jersey Department of Transportation modifications to the Route 206 Dockery Park Access Road, Block 142, Lot 23.03.
That's because of the widening of the bypass. They essentially are changing the entrance to Doherty Park, so that essentially is the agreement modified by DOT.
Is this agreement between NJDOT and Hillsborough, or is there a different property owner?
NJDOT.
Hillsborough is the owner of Block 142, Lot 23.03?
Doherty Park.
Excuse me?
Doherty Park, yes.
Doherty Park.
And you also have the access road that goes back to the warehouses there. So it's all that access has changed because of the widening of 206.
So you're saying it's with, who owns Doherty Park?
The township. The township, it's a township
No,
park.
that's what I'm saying. Is this?
And he's answered that.
To Hillsborough. No, he said no. I said, is this between?
This particular one is between
Hillsborough
Hillsborough and 206, but they had to come up with an agreement with the driveway right next to us, which is parallel for the warehouses, because 206 essentially is taking land to widen the road. So therefore the access is theoretically changing. So you have to have an agreement with DOT. That's all it is. It's just moving lines.
Okay, so Lot 142, Lot 23.03 belongs to Hillsborough?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what I had asked, and
The mayor did answer that, and so did our attorney.
said it was the Doherty Park.
Doherty Park is the
Yes,
name
a
of the park.
well-known park here in Hillsborough.
Okay. Consent number 26 is too long, so that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Janusik. All right.
I'll make that
to
motion.
adopt? Thank you. Second,
Second.
roll call, please.
You guys already had made motions, just so you know.
Excuse me?
You already had made the motions.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, before that, before the comment, so. just
Never
a roll
mind.
call. Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson? Committeeman
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Mayor?
Dave Mayor's in California, so he won't vote, but the mayor will say yes. All right, so lastly, we have claims list 2021-19. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2021-19?
So moved.
And a second? Thank you, Mr. Wright. Councilman Diaz? And from the floor on claims list, not today. Okay, motion to adopt?
Committeewoman Erickson?
Vote call, go ahead.
Just roll call, sorry. Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes, thank you.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Committeeman Wright?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Mayor Lapani says yes. So that concludes our regular meeting. It is 9:17. We do have executive session this evening. Ms. Bork, please read the executive resolution.
Whereas Section 80 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, where the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist now, therefore be resolved by the Township Committee. Township of Hillsborough County, Somerset State, New Jersey, as follows: the public shall be excluded from discussion of the herein after specified subject matters. Number 2, the nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: attorney-client privilege, no private contract.
To you and yours.
Litigation, Rang versus Hillsborough, litigation, Mndell versus Hillsborough. Number 3, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in executive session upon completion. Number 4, the minutes of those discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the matters under discussion are more confidential, sensitive nature. And number 5, this resolution be effective immediately.
May I have a motion to go in executive?
I'll make a motion.
Jeff, second, obviously. Are you second? One of you is second. All right. Councilman Diaz? Councilman Floor? Roll call? Oh, you have a comment? Sure. Can't discuss much because it's executive session, but
There's 2 litigations here. One is Rang versus Hillsborough Township. Is this a Hillsborough property owner?
I don't know if we can.
Not that I know.
No, I don't believe so.
And Was it Madlinger versus Hillsborough Township? Is that a Hillsborough property owner?
I don't believe so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Wright.
Yes.
Mayor
Yes, we're in executive session. It is 9:19.
By the way, Pam, there's candy in there's candy on Sarah's desk. Just 2 seconds. I need to scare up my coat. Where you got it? Where?
Maybe the worst meeting there, Lieutenant. Could have been worse, actually.
Where's the mayor's office?
It's like 40 below zero back there. I lowered the temperature to 60 and it's literally 40 degrees. Yeah, I mean, it's only at 71, it was 76 before. I don't know what they added here. Am I gonna see you before Christmas or not? I'll be on tomorrow or the day after. Okay, so have a good Christmas to you and your family. And you know it's Wednesday, right? They told you it's January 5th every year. It's Wednesday, not Tuesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Everybody, even the committee was there. Even the committee was confused. Oh. Good. Thanks.
he's got to fill me in. That's basically it. Yeah. I guess. You don't, they have to show you. I need my script.
I can't figure out what to say at this point, man.
Hey, it's been a long year.
All right.
Okay, we're out. May I have a motion to come out of executive session?
I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Attorney?
Yeah, sure. We went into executive session to discuss the snow plowing contracts, litigation Rang versus Hillsborough, and litigation Mandlinger versus Hillsborough Township. There's no action to be taken at this time in public. Therefore, motion to adjourn. Anybody?
I have a motion. Second. All in favor? We are adjourned. It is 10:40.
It's 9:40.
9:40, my bad.
Don't make it worse.
I was like, what happened? We lost an hour. I was like, you people would shut up back there.
6 to 1, Sean.
I know, I saw that.
6 to 1 is still going.
All right, I'll let you guys